Today we're going to look at lesson 5.2. I can identify statistical questions. Some jokes. Unicorn Halloween costume. It's good to check on your friends from time to time. How are you? Terrible. Okay. I'm such a good friend. It's time for our daily review. Write the following as a rate and as a unit rate. Well, if we look here, we have 46 pencils in 6 packs. What would it be per 1 pack? Remember, uni means 1 pack. So we're looking for 1 per 1 pencil. Our rate of pencils in each pack, well, for this problem here, 48 pencils over 6 packs. So our rate is 48 over 6. And our unit rate is per 1. We have 8 pencils for 1 pack. So our rate is 48 pencils for 6 packs. What is it per pack? 8 pencils equals 1 pack. That's it for our daily review. Let's take a minute and let's copy this down, and then we'll talk about it. So pause the video and write down this important vocabulary term. Okay, now you've had a minute to copy down this important vocabulary term. Let's break down this information a little bit. A statistical question is one that can be answered by collecting data, and there is variability. Variability comes from the word vary, which means change. So we know that there has to be more than one possibility. And then you also need to have data as well. There must be some kind of numerical or some kind of data involved with a statistical question. So those two things are very, very important for determining whether or not something is a statistical question. Let's look at some examples. Are the following statistical questions? Again, we want to think about, does it make data? It can be quantitative or qualitative. Or does it make, and also, does it have more than one possible answer? So let's take a look at number 1. How much do movies cost to make? Well, this is referring to many movies, not just one particular movie. So this would be, yes, this is a statistical question. Number 2, how tall are students in your class? Since we're trying to determine more than one student, there is more than one possibility, and people are different heights. So we would have to say, yes, this is a statistical question. Number 3, how many cars does your family have? Assuming you only have one family, as most people do, you will have just one set of cars. You will have one number to give about the size of the number of cars in your family. So this one would be not a statistical question. If you were going to change this to make this a statistical question, how would you do that? Well, maybe you say, how many cars do families at your school have? Or what is the average number of cars at your families have at your school? Number 4, how far does your best friend live from school. Again, is there more than one possible answer? Well, there is only one possible answer to this question, so it is not a statistical question. Maybe if you change this, you might say, how far do your friends live from school? Or how far do students from KISJ live from school? Number 5, how many pounds are in 1 kilogram? There is a direct ratio of pounds to kilograms that is the same each time. This is not a statistical question, so this would be a no. Determine whether the following sentences or scenarios are variable. If they aren't, then adjust them to be variable. Number 1, your sister wants to know the typical weight for an adult cat. Now, if we think about this, there are many different weights for adult cats, and there are many different kinds of cats. So this would definitely be a statistical question. And it is variable. Number 2, you want to know how tall your friend is. Is this a statistical question? No, it is not. Because how many friends did you ask? You asked one friend. And remember, we want our statistical data to be variable. So if we were going to rewrite this, you might say, want to know how tall your friends are. See what I did there? Friends. Number 3, you want to know how far your house is from school. Is this a statistical question? No, it is not. It is not variable. There is only one answer for the following question. So how can we change it to be a statistical question? Maybe you say you want to know how far the students live from school. So we're looking for more than one group of students. Number 4, a car owner wants to know how much people usually pay for a new tire. This is referring to more than one person. If it's referring to more than one person, this is variable. Therefore, it is a statistical question. How many students were in line for lunch at the cafeteria today at 12:30? This is not variable because there is one specific time that they're able to go to lunch, and the only time we're tracking is at 12:30. So that would be no, it is not variable. It is not a statistical question. So how could you adjust this? How many students were in line for lunch during last week at maybe 12:30? So more of a range, and your answers might vary a little bit. Today you learned how to identify statistical questions. Thanks for tuning in.